Hi, this is Rich Kaufman, and we're here at Castlestone in St. Louis with my good friend Rick Robert Shaw, the president of this company. And this is something I've been waiting a long time to do, Rick, is to talk to you and so our viewers could get a sense of what it is that you do here at Castlestone. I'm going to preface this a little bit by saying this. So many of our videos and interviews have been about high performance building because that's really what we're into, and we focused a lot on our special project at 8729 Lower Marine Road in the St. Louis area, and being built in a small community on the Illinois side as a high performance home. And that's because a lot of times we're talking about energy conservation, we're talking about sustainability, we're talking about air quality in the home. But early on in this project, the owners of this home said, you know, Rick, we want a house that performs, but we don't want it to look like a science project. And so that brings the element of another thing into the building of a high performance home the way we want to do it, and it brings together the art and science of building. And so you want the home to look good. And I know I'm taking a little time with this introduction, but what you do and what your company does is all about making a building look good with special stone and brick products that you can bring to the project. And we're just going to talk about that a lot today, and we're going to talk about the process and what the values of all that are. And then we're going to give our viewers a chance to see actual product and also how it's built. So thanks for doing this with us. Thanks for inviting us.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us today.
Your product is, and we'll just talk about stone, and I know you've got brick as well, but it's a man-made or cultured, is that what you use?
It's a man-made architectural stone, made in molds from the actual stone itself. So the detail and the definition that you get from this product is, to me, is absolutely amazing, and ultimately gives you products that look something similar to the one
what we got behind us. Yeah. When you say so they actually go quarry stone out that you want to replicate, is that right?
Exactly.
And then there's some, I don't know how that process
Molds
works.
are created around that each individual stone that ultimately give us the good look that we're striving for in the stone.
Now that gives the shape, right?
Gives the shape, it also gives you the texture that you want. So really what the benefit to all this is that you ultimately end up with a stone product that looks like natural stone. And some of the added benefits to it, it's half the weight of natural stone. It's arguably half the cost, if not more, than natural stone. And the green benefit is you're not going into Mother Earth to mine for natural stone to bring up to adhere to your home, your fireplace, whatever. This is all done man-made with all natural ingredients.
You know, and after the molding process and getting the shape, the texture you talked about, then we're going to go out in your plant and actually you're going to talk about how it's done, but there is a coloring process also that gives it the natural look, right, of the stone. You've replicated that as well.
You bet, you bet. Color obviously is very important on the stone, and anymore you really have the colors of the rainbow and more to pick from to bring out the effect that you're looking for and the style that you're looking for. The coloring agent is again, it's a natural occurring product. It's iron oxide dried pigments that we use to create the coloring effect in the stone.
One of the things that I think is so, and you mentioned green, we talk high performance green, a lot of people interchange those, but one of the things, and actually some of the organizations that certify homes and commercial buildings too, will rate various aspects of that building and give points for it, and that's how they qualify. People have heard of gold and platinum and so on. So that's how they're doing that. Part of the aspect of that is what are you doing that's helping the environment in building your home? You know what I'm saying? And making it a sustainable product. one of the things is that if you have to go to wherever you said naturally to quarry stone out of the quarry, you gotta get there. You gotta use power equipment and I don't know, jackhammer it out or however they get it out of the ground, and then you got to transport it. And so you're using a lot of energy just in the process of getting it to the job site from wherever in the world that is.
Correct.
And if I'm doing something that weighs twice as much, chances are I'm going to use twice as much energy to get it there.
Right.
And that's one of the aspects that with your product, you can cut that weight down in half, but also the distance, because it's made right here.
It's made right here, and we source all of our ingredients that we use here in the greater St. Louis area. So we're not expending a lot of energy to go out and source the raw materials that we need to perform and execute our products.
So as they say, we get points for that.
There you go.
Very good. There's another thing I wanted to talk to you about and ask you about, and that is the coloring process in a little more detail, because we touched on it just a little bit, but talk about that. These are naturally occurring, or you're replicating what's naturally occurring. Is that right?
That's correct.
But there might be some customers that want something a little different, or they're trying to match some siding or what, I don't know.
And that's the nice part about all this, Rich, is as the manufacturer, we can pretty much do whatever we need to do as it relates to colors. So yes, we do have our set menu of flavors, so to speak, and you can pick from one of those, but also that we probably do this 30% of the time that we custom color. We have the capabilities of custom coloring a particular style to match up to somebody's siding or their roof or their own personal request that they want to see certain colors within the stone. We can do that, and it's something that we do on a pretty regular basis.
It's pretty cool because you can't always do that in nature, right?
No, that you can't. That you can't.
Okay. Another thing that I think that our viewers would be interested in, I want to talk about how this is put on the house, and that you can make things happen without some of the other expense that comes if you were going to lay up this much heavier natural stone.
Right.
And how durable it is. So,
this product really goes up in pretty standard, typical masonry type practices. So it's going to be metal lath, it's going to be scratch coat. You're going to be buttering the back of the stone with type S, type N mortar to get it to adhere to your substrate. And like I say, it's pretty standard masonry type practices. The nice thing about it, given the lightweight nature of the product, you really don't need any kind of a brick ledge or additional support to your substrate to be able to lay up this type of stone product. In terms of its durability, we back ours with a 75-year warranty that it's not going to color fade, no deterioration in the stone. So I think it's going to be around long after I'm gone and others. But
now, when you talk about applying it, and this is generally done by qualified masons anyway, right?
Correct. Correct.
And so they know what they're doing, and they're going to make it so that it's going to stay put and so on and so forth. But some of it has mortar joints, between it, like I've seen,
versus the dry stack.
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Right.
Is that done after it's? Explain what.
Yeah,
what
the mortar joints. The stone's put up first for those stones that do require a mortar joint, and then the stone is laid up, and then the mason will come back with a grout bag or other applicator and lay in the mortar in between the individual stones to give it that grouted look, so to speak.
Rick, you're saying that this lasts a long time, or it's warranted for a long time. Can it be used both inside and outside?
That's the beauty of this. You can bring Mother Nature, the look of Mother Nature inside for any interior application. Obviously also works on an exterior application, and it works commercially or residentially. So we really touch every base.
Well, Rick, we talked about the fact that we're going to take a plant tour. I always like plant tours. It helps educate me. and our viewers are going to be fascinated to see the process. But when we leave here to go toward the plant to see the products being made, the stone basically being made, I know you have some other product lines, and I want our viewers to be able to see those too. And I'm thinking specifically of you have a stone and a thing that you created with sports colors in mind.
Yeah, it's a product line we call Sports Stone.
Okay.
And it's really just about trying to capture people's passion for sports and for their local team. Come on, I'll love to show it to you.
Okay, but also when we're on the way out there, you've got another thing, which is like entrance columns. Or tell me a little bit about that.
It's a patent pending product line that we're in partnership with another gentleman, and it's a product line we call Creative Columns. And I'd love to tell you more about that program.
Well, we'll let you talk about that when we go out and look at the actual product. And so before we go out and look at the rest of it, Rick, why don't you just tell us about this, because this is here and we're going to go out in the other area and look at some of the rest, but tell us about that stone.
This happens to be a style that we call mountain ledge. It's certainly one of our most popular styles of stone. It really gives that rustic country look to it. These are all individual pieces, individual stones.
Now, I think I've heard the term stack stone. Is that what this is?
This is going to what we refer to as a dry stack look. So, meaning by that, there's no mortar joints in between the individual stones. It's the effect that you're trying to create to give it that natural stacked look.
But there is something holding it up there. But besides
that there is.
We'll talk more about that. But if, like I said, we'll go look at some more. But if I could just maybe take that wall home with me, that'd be good.
I'm sure we can work something out.
Okay.
So, Rich, this is one of our other styles. This is probably our most popular style of stone that we do. It's one that we call shale. These are 5-inch high profiles, come in various lengths. And another dry stack stone, meaning again, no mortar joint in between here. Certainly our most popular style, used a lot for interior fireplaces and also home exteriors. Another style of stone that's actually indigenous to our greater areas is limestone. Again, these are all made in molds from the actual stone itself. That's why you get the amazing detail and definition that you see in this particular product. Another style of stone that we do is one that we call field stone. This is a little bit more rugged, a little bit more country, a little bit more of a rustic type of look. Looks good on your country home. Another new style of stone that we do now is one we call weathered edge. Again, given the popularity of dry stack stone in the marketplace, we opted to get in and expand our product line into what I think is just an amazing looking stone, and again, one that we call weathered edge. For those that want a little bit more of a traditional look, we also do a thin brick veneer, like you see here laid up on this privacy wall. A new product line for us is one that we call Creative Columns. This is a partnership that we've developed with a gentleman that actually holds the patent pending on all this. Where the genesis of this whole creative column idea started, this happens to be an interstate area within the St. Louis area, just actually a few miles from where we're currently located. These 3 columns, 3 on this side of an interstate overpass and 3 on the other side, start at the lower road surface, come up to the interstate surface, and even higher yet with the light stanchions. These are non-load bearing columns. But the core of those columns is what I'm looking at here. The proper name for it is expanded polystyrene. You and I might call it a high-density styrofoam. So from an interstate overpass and the column look that was pulled off there, we are now taking that same look and feel and functionality down to a smaller commercial and residential level. Let's just say that if you're starting with a standard 5-6 foot tall column, the normal process would be is that you'd have to dig a footing, pour a footing, build it up out of block, ultimately stick stone to it. The beauty of Creative Columns is that these are designed to slide directly over a 4x4 treated post that gets set into concrete into the ground. Once that sets, these columns would slide directly over that 4x4 treated post. Now that post can be a 4x4, it can be a 6x6, it can be a galvanized pipe. We will cut the element to whatever is the request for that. Fast forward, you do not have to dig a footing nor pour a footing. Now you are ready to lay stone up on this. These are engineered to hold up to 17 pounds per square foot. Our style of stone, it's about 7 pounds per square foot, what our stone weighs. It could be a thin brick veneer, it could be a stucco finish on this, and it could even be a natural stone veneer. Again, 17 pounds per square foot. The columns are made to your specific project needs, be it a short column, be it a privacy wall, be it a mailbox column. We will cut the creative column element specific to your size needs. Again, as the manufacturer of architectural stone, we also try and have a little bit of fun once in a while. Product line that we came up with is one that we call sports stone. In its simplistic form, really, it's all about trying to capture people's passion for sports and for their local team. So we do the Illini, University of Illinois, we can do Mizzou, University of Missouri, we can do St. Louis Cardinal colors, or even the St. Louis Rams colors. Pick your team. Doesn't matter really where your passion for your local team is. Chances are that we can match up to it. Where's this product go? We like to think it goes in one of two places, either a man cave / lady cave, but also in a sports bar. Sports Stone by Castlestone. Okay, wanted to show you the process of how we go about making our stone. The guys here right now are putting in the iron oxide dry pigments. This happens to be a color that we call Carmel, and the style of stone is mountain ledge. So they'll go through the process of putting in the various colors that define this Carmel color, and then ultimately we're going to show you how we bring together the Portland cement, the lightweight aggregates, and a few of our other elements to ultimately create this natural stone look. So the guys here, after they finish putting in all the various coloring agents, they're going through and brushing these colors into the mold. And you might see in a couple of these that we would put 2 or possibly even 3 different coloring agents within the mold. That's to give it more of a blended look. And we blend probably about 15 to 20% of the stones. And we like that because it gives it a more natural look overall when the stone is laid up, versus the stones just being their own individual color. So after we finish the dyeing process, the guys now would have gone to the mixer, mixed up the lightweight aggregates, the Portland Type 3 Portland cement, amongst a few other ingredients, and ultimately they're getting ready to pour the batter, so to speak, into the molds, which creates this natural looking stone. So the vibration part of this is all taking place, and now the guys are going to do something that we do to the product, and it's just something relatively simple, but they're going to rake the back end of the stones, and this helps create these grooves. As this stone cures, it creates these grooves in the stone, and this obviously is the back end of the stone. So when this product gets installed, these grooves help give it better adherence to the wall surface. Just something extra that we do on our end to try and help out the mason. So 24 hours later, the product has cured itself out to an extent, and now they're stripping the product out of the molds. This is product we would have made 24 hours ago. These still will need a couple days more of curing time for the stone to be completely dry. And the colors, as you see them now, they will lighten up over the next few days. So one of the last steps after they finish stripping it, we're obviously preparing an order to go out the door here before too terribly long. So they're hand stacking it to create various layers of this order on this product. Over the next few days, that curing process will continue because we will not be shrink wrapping this during that period of time so that air can circulate through there and ultimately have a good, dry, cured stone before it's shipped out of the warehouse.
Well, Rick, I don't know when I've enjoyed an interview more, but of course you and I have had a lot of conversations over the last year and always enjoyed it. But I think our viewers have gotten a good look at what Castlestone's all about, and they've caught your passion because you talked about it and have shown it all to us. So we're going to continue to follow this process. We hope this will open the door for a lot of people for you and your company. But in the building of the high performance house that we've talked about, your stone is going to be featured in that project. And we will actually, as it's being done, some of the things we've talked about today we'll be filming as it's being done. The application of it and
Correct.
the finished look of it and so on and so forth. So you can go to Castlestone
Products.com.
There you go, and find out more about this wonderful company, or you can follow us at oasishomesusa.com. So thank you for having us here today.
Thank you, Rich. It's been my pleasure.
All right.